Hello, Josie here. Are you ready for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And are you sure? Okay, here we go. So, unfortunately, in the area where I'm at, I'm seeing more people that are without homes, and part of me is questioning, how did they end up in that position? How did they end up homeless? For some it's drugs, for some it's other things, other reasons. And my question is, what exactly are they going to do each and every day, being homeless? Is that what they want to do, or would they prefer to do something else? If they had the opportunity. If you were to give these people a hand up, not a hand out, but a hand up, hand to pull them up out of their position, would they appreciate it and respect it, or would they fuck it up? Would they mess it up? My thing is, I've always been one that has viewed the homeless as those that just fell in hard times, Something bad happened. Maybe it was addiction. Maybe it was bankruptcy. Maybe it was, depression, illness possibly. But maybe it's something else. Maybe they're in a position now that they wanted somebody else to go through. Maybe they're experiencing what they wished on somebody else. Maybe their wicked behavior and actions got them caught up, whatever it might be. And now they're in a position that is where God wants them to be. Even then, I don't look down on these people, because I don't know exactly what happened, nor is it any of my business. But part of me does care. If I do help someone that is homeless, or is asking for money, or wants food, I've always allowed God to let me know if that was someone they wanted me to bless. I didn't just do it just because. No, I waited for God to let me know if that was what He wanted me to do, or if that's what He wants me to do. And there have been times where God said, don't give them anything. Don't pay attention to them. Leave them be. Don't help them out. And I listened. There have been some that I questioned, especially like the amount. But even God let me know He was going to pay me back 100-fold, whatever the amount was. And I believed and I trusted in that. But I wasn't hung up on that either. Because that there are a lot of people that only choose to help the homeless because they're going to get something out of it. Whether it's a tax write-off, or it's publicity, or it's free stuff. There's always an angle, unfortunately. Always an angle with some people. Unfortunately. But just like with the homeless as well, too, for some, they have an angle. You've watched the news, how they have uncovered people that are pretending to be homeless. They go out to a corner and they work that corner for 4 or 5 hours or something like that. And then they go and walk over to their Cadillac or their Mercedes, hop in, and then God has let me know even those people, they're going to end up in the positions that they've basically been mocking and lying about being in, rather. I understand more and more why there are people that just put blinders on to everything and everyone around them, because for some people it's just easier to do that. For some, it's truly an attitude of they don't care. That's not them. They're not in that position. They don't care. And some of those people, they better realize that today is really just another day in paradise. And tomorrow, it could be hell. You could fall in the same situation that other people fall in that you never, ever expected, nor did you think you would be in. And sometimes you fall in that position faster when you have an arrogant, bold attitude. But then there are others of us that we put a blinder on because there's nothing really that we can do, except when God guides us to do something. And even then, God will tell us, you've done enough. You don't need to do anything else, Josie. You don't need to do anything else because you've done enough. You've helped enough people. Now it's time for you to be helped, for you to be assisted. And God is letting me know that He gave various individuals opportunities to do so, and they refused, or they chose not to, because of what I carried, of what God was blessing me to do and or wanted me to do in my life, my calling. They didn't want me to fulfill my calling. They didn't want to help me to fulfill my calling. And God said, okay, all right. So now God is stepping in. Hands on Him, only Him. He is narrating everything. He is guiding everything. And there's nothing that anybody can do about it. Nothing anybody can do to stop it. And trust, they have tried. A ton of different ways. And God didn't allow what they tried to work. But God pushed me to the limit. And just as He's pushed me to the limit, and other people have pushed me to the limit, God is now going to start pushing others to the limit as to how much they can bear in their lives. When they start losing loved ones, when they start losing careers and jobs, when they start losing homes, cars, when they start losing their ability to travel, their ability to spend money on those things that they hold so dear and so precious, those materialistic things that you can't take with you when you leave this earth. God is about to push people to the limits as far as how much they can bear in their lives. He's going to test individuals and find out exactly their intentions, their value, their worth. And these are individuals that didn't see our value, our worth. And they believed that our intentions were false, just like theirs. And when they realized that our intentions were not false, they tried to make us look false in the eyes of others. So now is the time where you need to start getting your house in order. You need to start getting your affairs in order, because there are some that God is going to remove out of people's lives that were such a big part of their lives in a myriad of ways. And everybody handles loss differently. Everybody handles the loss of loved ones differently than others. The loss of jobs and careers differently than others. God allows people to go through suffering and trials just to see how they're going to hold up compared to how others held up. And it's not going to be a lovely day or a lovely period for a lot of people in the near future. Again, I ask that you do not wish onto others what you would not want to happen to you. I'm gonna leave it at that. Gotta go.